Shalawam, I'm your brother Yahawah from the branch of GMS, South Carolina Midlands. And before I start off, all praise, honor, and glory belongs to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, HaQadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone who teach and who rule well. And Shalawam to Yahawah Elect, scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. To you I say Shalawam, quick in transit through the spirit and the power of Yahawashi. The elect will eat during the time of famine. I was watching the brother video, Arrows of Indignation 144. Subscribe to his channel, be edified, stay in the loop. Just dealing with this particular harvest. It's described to be the worst ever. You got different people around Babylon the Great saying that, there's going to be food shortages, rationing, possibly run out of water as well. We know that this is all biblical. It's all prophetic. Yahawashi said that he would bring a famine in the land. Yahawashi said he would break the staff of bread. And Yahawashi said that many is going to perish of the famine. And Lord we'll get a couple of those scriptures that I'm quoting. All right. But nonetheless, as it pertains unto his elect of the house of Israel, starting with you 144,000, the governing body. And you believers, of course, you believers out there, you men, women, and children, friends of the prophets, family of the prophet, you're going to eat as well, okay? Because Yahawashi is with those that serve him, okay? Isaiah 65:13, Lord, we'll get that, man. All right, but let me read this real quick before I play that video. It says, the book of Psalms, chapter 37, and Psalms 37:17, it says, for the arms of the wicked shall be broken. And you think about your arms, where your strength, your power, Yahawashi is taking the power, all right, and breaking down the power structure of Esau, Edom, starting with Babylon, America. Okay, this place is absolutely collapsing, right before our very eyes. We're approaching a time where the dollar is about to collapse and all hell is about to break loose, and it's all ties into other prophecy within the scriptures, to where this devil is going to bring a new world order and implement MOTB. But we know with that, all right, that our temptation, we are to deny it, not take it. But with Esau implementing that would be his last hoorah, so to speak, of his kingdom, trying to prolong it. All right, because what shortly follows after Revelation 13:16, the implementation of the RFID micro C-HIP, the mark of the beast, will follow destruction. Revelation 14:9 and 10. All right, for the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord Yahawashi upholdeth the righteous, and that's the elect. Okay, right now the elect, they're waking up, repenting, turning back to Yahawashi. Our faith is being built up through the Spirit. Our eyes seeing our teachers. We're standing upon our feet. All right, and eventually Yahawashi is gonna, elevate us. Give men, men of the elect, spiritual power. Show forth his miracles, his wonders, works. All right, and eventually deliver us, give us new bodies, man. Okay, as we enter into the chariot of Yahawashi through the second return of Yahawashi. It says, the Lord Yahawashi knoweth the days of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever. Yeah, what we're involved in is for everlasting inheritance. We're coming back into the promise that Yahawashi established with our ancient righteous forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, we have the hope of all the ancient prophets of Yahawah, disciples of the Lord, and the apostles. We have that here today via the HaQadash, the Holy Spirit. All right, and we're about to inherit joint rule. You brothers, you men of Israel, of the hopeful elect, you're about to inherit joint rule with Yahawashi. Okay, and you sisters have your part in the kingdom under a man of the Lord, man. It's all beautiful, along with the children. It says, they shall not be ashamed. And, just to add to that point, Isaiah 45:17, and Israel shall be saved in the Lord, Yahawah, with an everlasting salvation. You shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. See? So, yeah, we are part of or involved in an inheritance that shall be forever. It says, they shall not be ashamed in the evil time, and it's the point. They shall not be ashamed in the evil time, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied. Jumping down, verse 25. I have been young and now am old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. He is ever merciful, and lendeth his seed is blessed. You see? So it's not a case to where Yahawashi is bringing famine, all right, bringing plagues, bringing judgments, and the elect is gonna have to suffer it. All right, the judgments is not for us. Famine, or starvation is not for us. It's not for the elect. Okay, it's for the wicked, rebellious 2/3. It's for Esau and the heathens, man. Okay, so I'm gonna let this play. Subscribe to the brother Arrows of Indignation 144 once again.
I want to talk a little bit about engineered famine. It looks like it's happening. It's been happening for some time. Weather manipulation, engineering of the whole thing, but we're seeing a lot of things start to align.
And as he brought up the point of, weather manipulation, that's just one of many ways Esau, is bringing in orchestrated famine, all right, so that the people can depend on him solely, but ultimately this is, the doing and the bidding and the will of Yahawashi. Okay, because how is the Lord also bringing famine? By way of this war. Okay, dealing with the Third World War. We know that resources, food, it goes, and money, it goes towards, the war efforts. Okay, this is going to be the war to end all wars, where all nations will get involved. And we see what's going on with the whole Strait of Hormuz, where fertilizer can't get where it's supposed to go, gas, diesel, fuel, energy, and that's bringing a major disruption in the world food supply. Okay, it's about to hit heavy over here in Babylon, the Great America, man.
It kind of shows that crunch time's about to hit us big time. What I mean by that is the whole situation with the farmers. I had a lot of people just chime in on the last video about their neck of the woods, about if they're seeing butterflies, if they're seeing bees. And I noticed from the comment section that there's people out there that are either seeing them in abundance, kind of like my neck of the woods. You'll see butterflies flying around, just seeing a bumblebee. They're out here in abundance. But in my area, I know that we have designated pollinator zones. I don't know if you guys have those in your neck of the woods, but those pollinator zones help to feed the ecosystem and make sure that the butterflies and the bumblebees stay alive and they can do their job, because obviously without them, everything will collapse.
And why does it need to have those zones? That's because the wicked is bearing rule, man. Okay? This devil done tainted the water, the air, the food supply. This devil done messed everything up, man. Okay, and that's why righteous rulership of the Israelites, the kingdom of Yahawashi, the kingdom of heaven, has to be established, man. Where the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahawashi could be implemented, man. The land Sabbaths, the eating of clean foods and not eating of unclean foods, This devil, as the scriptures say, that the foundations of the earth are out of course, man. Okay? Proverbs 29:2. When the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. Okay? When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, man. Okay? Esau is an unfit ruler, man. He just continually squeezes the life out of living. This human experience under the rule of the wicked, man, it's terrible, man. Okay? It's truly not living, man. And even the animals and the trees and life is affected by it, man. So he gotta go, man. All right? Israel has to come into power. Yahawashi has to return. Okay? And redeem his elect, man.
We're hearing about people saying that there's none in their neck of the woods. That's concerning. Even though I have colony people around me that do bees and all that stuff and have hives, there's been reported losses. And they've even been trying to go around to other properties to try to build up these zones just to try to counter all the loss that's happening. Now, I also have people that have stated that they run colonies in other states. Arkansas, for instance, had people chime in saying that half of their colonies have died. Half of their hives have been wiped out. They've talked to other people in the area, and they've seen similar things happen. And they were like, if it's that bad in their neck of the woods, how bad is it everywhere else? This could be targeted. We're talking about ticks being dropped off en masse on farms all across the place. And people are flipping out. Again, when I look at the comment section of the most recent video, people are either seeing something or they're kind of not seeing much of anything. So it's like one or the other. You're either in an area where you have an abundance of these and you're really not worried about it because you're seeing them. But I would be concerned when you've got farmers out there chiming in saying that they're not seeing nothing on their farms. And I know every state's different, every area is different, but it's happening in mass. And it seems this whole thing is engineered. Let's look globally. What's going on here? Trump's got the Strait of Hormuz all held up and all that. That's causing a supply crunch here that affects everything. It affects absolutely everything. It's just now getting to the point to where people are going to start to notice. And there's no end in sight here in terms of that war front or him opening up Hormuz. They keep talking about it, but it's a carrot on a stick that helps them drag the whole thing out while they pull off theatrics like the White House Correspondents' Dinner and all the stage crap that happened there. It's a whole nother story I'll be covering on the live stream tonight. Make sure to join me and let me know if you guys are seeing colonies getting wiped out in your areas. And I would...
Salakia, I got a phone call. But nonetheless, man, you see the many different factors that tie into Yahawah's word coming to pass as it pertains into famine. Whether it's man-made with Esau, Edom, weather manipulation, through the war, the closing of the Strait of Hormuz, things not getting where they're going, fertilizer, energy, things of that nature. Eventually hyperinflation. You're not gonna be able to afford to buy food, man. So we're here, man. We're here for the will of Yahawashi to be fulfilled. But nonetheless, let me get these scriptures. First and foremost, let me get the ones that I quoted. 2nd Esdras 16 and 22 real quick. It says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine. So there's going to be a lot of people that drop by way of starvation, man. That's just one of the judgments, and a gruesome judgment, a horrific judgment, to where Yahawashi about to pine people away, through the want of the fruit of the field, man. Lamentations 4:9 tells you it's better to die of the sword than to perish of famine. And it says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Yeah, the Lord gonna get you one way or another, man. All right, but regardless how it be, a lot of people is gonna perish for not getting access not having that food, man. Okay, but pertaining to the Lord's elect, his servants, right? Isaiah 13 and Isaiah 65 and verse 13. It says, "Therefore thus saith the Lord power, Yahawah by Shemel, behold, my servants shall eat," and that's you elect. Okay, during the time of famine, what we're gonna do? Depend and trust on Yahawah by Shemel, his word. We're gonna call upon the Lord, and the Lord gonna make a way, man. We see different accounts in the scriptures that we look to. Like Sirach 2 and 10 tells us, look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any, call upon him and was despised? And was forsaken, excuse me? Or whoever called upon him, let me just get it, bro. About to butcher it. Slock it, man. Sirach 2 and 10. It says, look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he despise that called upon him? And the answer is none. Verse 11, for the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering, and very pitiful, and forgiveth and saveth in the time of affliction. This is the power we serve, man. Okay, the power that, who, can keep you from death. What is that? Psalm 68 and 20. Yep, he that is our power is the power of salvation, man. So it's going to be a light thing for the Lord to allow us to eat during time of famine, man. Okay. It says, and unto the Most High, Yahawah, Bahasham, the Lord belongeth the issues from death, and the Lord don't have it to where his elect is going to starve, man. Okay, as we are reading. Isaiah 65 and 13. Behold, therefore, thus saith the Lord, power, Yahawah, Bahasham, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. And 2/3 is going to be the hungry ones, man. Okay. It says, behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. So the Lord's not going to be with, 2/3 of you rebellious Israelites who don't want to call on the true name of the Lord, who don't want to abide under his word, who don't serve him here in this grace period, who haven't repented, okay? But the ones who have done all those things and continue to do so, the elect, you're going to be good, man. We're going to be in great case, man. Lord will, we are of that number, man. Okay, because the elect, it's going to be a time of trouble that we're going to find ourselves in. The enemy's going to come after us, this devil, CZE. They're going to try to cut off resources, try to make you take the MOTB. But the Lord going to make a way. Jeremiah 30 and 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it, man. Okay, so we ain't going to have nothing to worry about, man. Now, I also want, matter of fact, let me just go over a chapter. It's Jeremiah 29 and 11. For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, Yahawah Shemashah, and that's pertaining to you elect. Thoughts of peace and not of evil. And famine is a bad time. That's what evil goes into. The Lord ain't got that reserved for us, man. All right, for you 2/3. Okay, but he got thoughts of peace for us, man. Okay, he already got the provisions laid, man. We just got to walk into it, man. Walk with faith, man. All right, what is that? St. Matthew 6 and 33. Seek ye the kingdom of Yahawah Shemashah first, and all these things shall be added unto you. And in that chapter, what does it go into? Your food, okay? Your raiment, your clothing, okay? The Lord know that we have need of all these things, man. For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, said the Lord, Yahawah Shemashah, thoughts of peace and not of evil, and to give you an expected end. Then shall ye call upon me, and ye shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you. And ye shall seek me and find me. And we found the Lord. We know the Lord. Yahawah Shemashah. All right. When ye shall search for me with all thine heart. Okay. And that's what the elect is doing, man. All right. And I will be found of you, saith the Lord, power. The Lord, Yahawah Shemashah. And I will turn away your captivity and will gather you from all the nations and from all the places whither I have driven you, saith the Lord Yahawah, and I will bring you again into the place whence I caused you to be carried away captive. You see? Yahawah gonna deliver us, bring us back to the Holy Land, and that's where we're gonna abode, man. Okay, that's gonna be the headquarters, Jerusalem. All right, the Holy Land, Israel, man. Okay, so yeah, you know, the Lord is gonna allow His elect to eat during the time of famine, man. Lord will just edify to the elect. With that, I say shalom, shalom to the hopeful elect.